Salam, hello, my friends. This is Dr. Mohamed Nezami of Jerash Jordan. I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. And today, unlike most of the times when I'm doing videos on some kind of electrical engineering video, today's video is on archaeology that has to do with my native town, Jerash in northern Jordan, what's nowadays is Jordan. It basically was largely, but basically part of the Roman Empire. And if you haven't visited Jerash, this is what it looks like. It's basically a fully intact, well, partially intact Roman city. And unlike Ephesus and unlike Rome, a lot of the monuments are still intact, and it's not built out of bricks, these Roman and cement bricks that is commonly used in Rome and Pompeii and Ephesus and Turkey. This one here is really fully done in solid stone, hard rock. So I started this video series of interesting things that I find around outside the city itself. As you know, this is the modern day Jerash here, and as you can see, as these houses scattered outside, there's a lot of antiquities outside. It's very rarely covered because it's even not documented, a lot of it. So this is a series where I basically look at some of these things where, unlike most of the videos that you see there about this town here, I'm basically trying to emphasize issues that has to do outside the city here, like things that you find in the rural Roman villas and wineries, olive press, pottery pieces, stone quarry places. And so today, what I'm going to do, basically, I'm going to cover a thing that I have found one time several years ago. And basically, as I was walking in this town here after a long, after I come back from a long stay in the U.S., I was walking and I spotted a stone. As you know, this modern city, just like has happened in Rome and everywhere else, basically in the past century, like 100 years ago. Before that, people just grabbed stones and recycled. They turned down Roman monuments and they built houses with them. And same thing happened here in Jerash. A lot of the walls and accessible stones were carried, and people have reused them to build houses. And so same thing happened in Jerash here. This was, of course, 100 years ago, before the modern, what nowadays is Jordanian government. Before that, of course, it was all part of northern Arabia, southern Syria. So as I was walking, I stumbled onto this stone that was, I don't know where it was brought from, but they reused it into an early 1900 and possibly even 1800, late 1800 rebuilding of shops. And I was walking in the shops, and I will show you the video in a minute, a reenactment of my walk in the old souk. Souk is a market, Arabic word for market. So I found this shop, and when I saw it, I told him, "Do you know what's written on this?" He said, "No." And of course, I love to look at ancient inscriptions, especially Greek inscriptions. And I happened to have a friend back in the US at Duke University, whom I thanked for the translation. So every time I find something, I send it out his way, and he goes and translates it to me. And I always find it amazing just to find out what's written. So I'm going to have this video and about few other videos that has to do with inscriptions. And these are undocumented. You won't find these in the official documents of the government, antiquity governments in Jordan. In fact, several years ago, I mentioned this on my Facebook home site, and I found out that a few other people have copied the story and even didn't even make a mention of me in there. But this is an inscription that turned out to be what was the base of a statue for the gods, commemorating one of the gods by a citizen of Roman Jerash. Okay, and what's interesting, of course, at the time, this is probably I think the doctor from Duke University estimated it's about 100 to 280, the date of when this was done. The one who commemorated the statue to the city of Jerash, a Roman citizen, he might have been either a government official or some kind of rich merchant. He brought somebody from Alexandria, Egypt. And as you may recall, 100 AD, Alexandria was basically the, like nowadays New York City to the world. It was where all the action is, where the greatest library in the world was. So let's go ahead and watch the video. I reenacted the place where I found this, and then we will come back and I will show you the actual text of what was written on here and what is said, okay? So let's go back. Let's run that video and watch with me. I'm in the market right now, in the old market. And so this is salvaged. They built these shops basically from stones that were salvaged or teared down from monuments in the Jerash town. And while I was walking one time, I spotted this here, and it has inscription on it. Okay, as you can see, here's that inscription. And what I did is I took this inscription and sent it to a researcher in Duke University. And I do not want to mention his name. Professor. As you can see here, the inscription has two parts. One on top here, which is two lines, and one in the bottom, which has a line and a little bit centered word. And it turned out that this is here where he commemorates the statue to the gods. And down here, he makes a mention of who did the statue. And he says, such and such person from Alexandria, what was then Egypt, which is interesting. That shows that these people really they made sure that the people got the credit, the art, always the artist gets credited, which is really nice. There, he specializes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this has. It has basically two parts inscription. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute, but this word here is actually Alexandria. You can see the sigma A, Alexandria, AL, lambda, Alexandria, okay? One above and one below. And basically, it just talks about commemorating a statue for the god, one of the gods. And then below it is the name and the place of the. So, ladies and gentlemen, you understand what this is, right? This is the base. What would it be in the base, or a piece, or the cap of a base that held a statue on top of it? So, if you pull this stone out, you will see the marking of where a statue was basically mounted and fixed to the top of this. And this would have been displayed in the main market or some at a temple or at the entrance of a temple of Zeus, Artemis, or whatever. statue where it was etched or was sculpted. It was sculpted amazingly in Alexandria, Egypt during that time. So that's what we have. So I'm going to go back and show you the actual inscription that was sent by the professor. Okay, so let's go to the inscription. And basically, the statue, the location of the statue is somewhere in this city here, in the downtown Jerash area, which is the old souk. That was the main street back in the early 1900. Okay, so this is when I sent the pictures of this. Of course, I sent several pictures, trying to maximize the clarity and trying to take it from different angles so that Dr. KR at Duke University actually can translate it. He says, after looking at this, it says that this actually was done by a man named son of Ariston. Okay, it looks like it would dated. He didn't mention it here, 150 to 200, but that means AD probably. Okay, and then the sculptor hired to make the law statue, of course, is Alexandria. He is a son of Alexandria, Egypt. What's interesting now, where is this statue? Who knows? You know, it can be maybe somewhere out there in the museums in Europe, or New York, in Philadelphia, or in London, Paris, the Louvre Museum maybe, or somewhere out there in the private collection of art lovers out there somewhere, wealthy mansion sitting in LA or New York. So I'm hoping that one day somebody finds out that that statue has a base, which is this here, and somehow we can maybe, you know, get the antiquity department to actually pull this stone out and bring back the statue, or maybe the statue is still somewhere in the under the pile of sand out there to be discovered sometime in the future. Who knows? But anyway, this is what it says. Okay, so this is the Greek text, as you know, Dr. MK of Duke University have translated this. It says basically what it says, and this is his writing, the doctor's writing, in honor of the Syrian emperors, son of Ariston. That's the guy who basically paid for the statue of Moirbus. I don't know what that is. Okay, who promised the statue dedicated to his noble fatherland. Well, noble fatherland means Jerash. So this is actually a citizen of Jerash that had done this, a Roman citizen, more than 2,000 years ago, at his own expense. Okay, so it means that he was some kind of wealthy guy to do this. His name is Antonius, son of Antiochus. I'm sorry, at his own expense. That's the guy, Ariston, son of Moirbus. Okay, sorry, that's his father's name, or his tribal name, or his family name, whatever. And then it says here, of course, this is the name of the artist. It says Antoninus, son of Antiochus, citizen of Alexandria, manufactured it. And interesting, I don't know why the doctor from Duke University translated it being manufactured. So which means that maybe it could have been bronze, a bronze statue, not out of stone. So it may have been that. So who knows? Okay, so this is what we have for you. And hopefully I'm gonna put the video again, so that play it again. But hopefully this is on the next video. I will see you on the next video, where we will basically talk about another one. I got another interesting little piece of pottery that I found, that my brother, who passed away sadly in the during the the disease that came years ago, who had found it. And again, I went to the doctor at Duke University, says, what does this say? And you will be amazed on the next video. So look for that in the next video. I'll show you. So enjoy this video again, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. This is Dr. Mohamed Nezami of Jerash Jordan. Thank you. In the market right now, in the old market. And so this is salvaged. They built these shops. Now, let me just point out to you, and so watch this. Look at this piece here. Look how magnificent this piece is. This must have been taken out of the either Artemis or Zeus or Apollo museum temples. This is a really neat, interesting. So imagine where's the rest of this. This would have decorated a temple or a public facility during the Roman Empire in Jerash. They built these shops basically from stones that were salvaged or teared down from monuments in the Jerash. This is, of course, 100 years ago. You can't do that nowadays. One time I spotted this here, and it has inscription on it. Okay, as you can see, here's that inscription. And what I did is I took this inscription and sent it to a researcher in Duke University, and I do not want to mention his name. He's a professor there. He specializes in. Hopefully, in the next videos, maybe I'll contact Professor K at Duke University and get his permission to publish his name. But for right now, I just want to credit the university for doing the translation, unofficial translation, really, because this is not official. But and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this has. It has basically two parts inscription, one above and one below. And basically it just talks about commemorating. Now, the interesting thing is that I was walking, as I walk always through these old shops or walls that people built by recycling stones from the ancient city of Jerash early in the last 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, is that how many of these stones would have been flipped where the writing is on the inside. You can't see what's on. So imagine how many out there. I would imagine nowadays how maybe you can actually make a ground penetrating radar, use a ground technology to actually scan these stones everywhere and see if there's any imagery or anything inscribed on the other side of this. This would have been for the future generations to do this. Yeah, a statue for the god, one of the gods. And then below it is the name and the place of the statue where it was etched or was sculpted. It was sculpted amazingly in Alexandria, Egypt during that time. Well, actually, that's what I thought Dr. K said from the translation, but in fact, he didn't really say that. Later on, I realized an artist was hired to do this in Jerash, but who was brought from Alexandria. That's what we have. So I'm going to go back and show you the actual inscription that was sent by the professor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and have a great day. Again, this is Dr. Mohamed Nezami, and this was the inscription that I found in the old souk in Jerash. We'll see you on the next interesting inscription. Thank you very much. See you. Have a great day.